Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of the ECAC's Marvel Rivals. I'm your caster, Inferno, joined once again by my fellow caster, Althea, and our observer, Beldia. How you doing tonight, Althea? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. We're here, looking excited for week 2. Looking at the teams on blue, we got Clemson Orange out of Clemson, South Carolina. Looking good with this quad pick of Jeff's here. I'm liking that. And for CCNY here, we have Bacon, Egg, and Cheese from City College of New York. So, I'm really excited. We saw both these teams last year during the tournament, and definitely some recognizable names already. I see Surges, Wezu, I Am White for CCNY, as well as Side Beef, Momith, Thief, Brandon C. Just very recognizable names. I'm excited to get into and get this match started.
So am I, and we do have our first skip ban here. Clemson opting not to save or not to ban anyone out for the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, but they are going to go for that Magneto save. We did see the Emma ban from the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese for Orange, or for Clemson here. So we won't see any Emma out of the blue team here. And Emma's been dominating a couple of my ranked games. She's looking pretty top tier. Same with that Venom that we see Bacon, Egg, and Cheese save. It's looking like a lot of tank priority picks here.
Yeah, looking at CCNY's team lineup, just based off of their hovers, the Emma ban is definitely an excellent choice. They have that dive with like the Iron Fist, that Venom. Emma Frost is definitely the highest Punisher they have to deal with that. We can see that getting out Star-Lord, maybe to just alleviate some of the possible flank pressure on their supports, but we'll have to see. The Magneto ban, save, is pretty standard. But yeah, I can't say too much on Clem's picks yet, but they are going to ban that Winter Soldier, and honestly, I'm not surprised there. Bucky is a very, very strong pick, and not surprised to see that get taken out.
Yeah, we've seen it from a lot of teams. That Winter Soldier, able to get those chain ultimates off, can just do work to a team, and Clemson wants no part of that. Instead, they would like that Invisible Woman, that Sue Storm, one of the better supports right now. We're even seeing Sicky Samsick on the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese hovering it. Going to be a good support to pick here. That Invisible Boundary certainly is a great ultimate as well. The Punisher save coming out from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese wants to keep some of that mobile DPS available while banning out that Hela.
When you get rid of that Bucky, you still need some decent hit scan in the pocket, and that's definitely why we see that Punisher saved. Hela as well. There's a pretty strong team up with Namor right now, and with no Hulkman on the map, something to keep an eye on as well. Getting that double Namor team up could be scary. Hela as well, just a scary hit scan overall, but right now, just seeing these team locks, we're seeing somewhat standard for the side of Clem. We have that mix of dive and backline pressure, which is something that we're kind of used to seeing. You have Sigma and Bomb Barrel that can kind of sit near the front line, and then HK5 to dive in the back and just cause that distraction. On the side of CCNY, though, we're still looking at this pretty dive-heavy comp, high mobility supports like this Rocket and Jeff, the Black Panther, Venom, and Iron Fist as well in the dive, and then just the Magneto for the grounding and team pressure.
And those shields as well, the bubbles being able to save some allies in moments. I do like Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's comp, like you were already mentioning, a very run it down, in your face comp. Clemson does have a team that could withstand that pressure, but it's really going to come down to the execution and how Bacon, Egg, and Cheese hits this first point here. As we're about to see it unlock, we're about to see what's going to happen getting it on our first round.
Yeah, I'm excited to see because, like you said, CCNY, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese here. I'm really a fan of this team comp. Typically, we see that comp where you have just that front pressure with somebody in the back, like a Hela or a Namor, just putting a bunch of pressure on. Similar to what we're seeing here with Clem, but I really like CCNY's approach with this dive, and I'm interested to see how it's going to interact with Clem.
We did see I Am White falling critically low there on that Iron. Maybe getting a little too overzealous out the gate, but there we're starting to see some pressure put onto Brandon. Has to go into that bubble, able to hold off until his team is there. We're starting to get some picks now, pulling out that shotgun, trying to get Corona out of the back line. Did that very well. We're seeing this point contest. Clemson in the lead here, but we're seeing Bacon, Egg, and Cheese secure a pick and get away with it.
Yeah, Magneto doing what they can by just keeping this cap off of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, but Bacon, Egg, and Cheese has this nice backline pressure. Clemson is very separated as we see Sigma Galaxy fall to Kitten with that nice melee. Brandon finds a counter pick on a Surges though, and this fight still can go either way. A few minutes in now, point has not been capped yet. Visible Boundary comes down as well as a few more ultimates.
Oh, I am Jeff from the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, going for a big chomp there, getting shut down by Brandon now. On this point, there's a second one for the side of Clemson, but not without too much resistance from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, as they will cap that point with the Rocket Sia from Wes.
Yeah, very high octane fight there, and it's not over yet. I Am White still just keeping up this aggressive pressure. Surges as well to help clean up. And I mean, that was a really good fight from both sides. That was pretty long, and I mean, it took a whole team fight getting those support ultimates down before they even got the cap. So Bacon, Egg, and Cheese is definitely going to be more on the defensive end now that they are down both support ultimates. But I don't know, we do have Kitten with this Eye of Agamotto ready. Side Beef is going to have to be able to react in time, but Brandon falls real quick, and that's already Bacon, Egg, and Cheese up in this fight.
Yeah, with this team comp that you're seeing CCNY bring to the table here, you have to kind of play up, catch them before they get to that point, and we're seeing Sturgis do that right now. The Bass Descent did come down earlier, and now getting shut down by Mometh will be able to get picked up by that BRB from Wes. Going to be right back in this fight, but now Clemson is going to reach this point. They have the ultimates. Will they use it?
I mean, 5 ultimates in the pocket for Clemson. This is definitely going to come down to who can spam them stronger. No support ultimates ready for Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, though, which is the part I'm worried about. We really have to see a strong Eye of Agamotto from Kitten if we start seeing them come out.
And there we see Clemson with the ult dump, the fate of both worlds, the final judgment, starting to clear that point. And with that kind of pressure, you're able to swing it back, stop Clemson, or stop CCNY at 75%, and now start to take some pressure for yourself.
Yeah, we can definitely see the intelligence there from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, because they did not even try and test it. They knew what was going on point. They just held back and they said, we're going to get regrouped as quick as possible and push back in. Umbrell's going to get this turret down on the choke, but I mean, only 2 people are there. We already see Bacon, Egg, and Cheese pushing this high ground, and now they're the ones with the 5 ultimates ready to go. Eye of Agamotto ready to get popped. A very nice opportunity here. Waiting to see it as we see Surges just causing this disrupt. Kitten will fall.
Yeah, did have that eye there, like you mentioned. Maybe just waiting for it to get set up. There, we're seeing the ult dump now from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. We saw Sicky Samsick and Wes with the 2 support ults. Gonna have to win this fight if you're committing both of them. There is now the invisible boundary from the side of Clemson, able to keep everyone up, even find a pick onto the Jeff. Does have to get res, but now we're starting to see the picks start to come through for Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. Maybe start running off Clemson from this point.
Yeah, that's both supports down as well as a tank for Clemson. I wouldn't be surprised as we see the point here for Bacon, Egg, and Cheese swap. But I mean, they committed 5 ultimates to that take. Clemson tried to really only need to use the mag ult as well as the invisible boundary. Right now, CCNY still sitting on this Eye of Agamotto. It has to be their savior here. And I mean, like you said, we have to see Bacon, Egg, and Cheese playing this aggressive style. They can't give up that dive that they're playing. But with this Venom causing disrupt in the background, the supports are busy dealing with that as we see both the dive DPS dying. Now Clemson Orange is just able to come back early.
They were down big in that fight, but we did see the commit of that Eye of Agamotto Kitten there, which may start to spell the downfall of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese here. They're not going to have any ultimate to retake this point, and they're going to have to look into this final judgment and the Horn of Proteus from Brandon here on the side of Clemson. It's certainly going to be a lot harder fight going into this next one, and whoever wins this one will win this first round here, as Clemson is also approaching that 99%. This fight will send us into overtime.
Yeah, we just have to see some nice dive from CCNY, but Clem Orange knows how Bacon, Egg, and Cheese is playing and are ready to counteract it. Nice Venom ult in the background.
have those ultimates being popped to cancel out the I Am Jeff as well. The Skia will fall too. CCNY now on the back foot here. We're seeing HK with the Venom pick onto Wez. There's 2 more to follow. Clemson is going to win this fight, win this point, and unless we can get a Strange Portal back in miraculous time, it's just over.
Yeah, I mean, CCNY definitely looking a little fried after that one, but I mean, that was a very close match. We saw it from the very first fight of this map that these teams are very equally matched. Definitely not going to be a 3-0, I can tell you that now.
No, absolutely not. That was back and forth as can be, 99 to 100%. And for what it's worth, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese was definitely in a commanding lead for the majority of that. And then all of a sudden, Clemson just started playing this incredible game that it seemed like Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just wasn't able to have an answer to. And they retained that point and caught that first round.
Exactly, and something I want to point out, it looks like CCNY is trying to switch around their comp just a little bit as we do see this Angela pick, a first for the ECAC here, a flying melee tank in there for the brawl, and that's definitely going to assist Corona in some way as well with that dive if it works out well. But again, Clem Orange has already adapted to Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's dive and is just basically anticipating it, playing really well together, and really Bomb Barrel as well as Brandon are just the ground of just shutting down anything that can get up there. That Namor is definitely going to put some pressure on the dive, especially that Iron Fist as well. Don't really have that range to take out the squids.
Yeah, and you know, this comp that Bacon, Egg, and Cheese has, it's still enabling this dive. They're just swapping for tankier characters now. Still with this Angela and the Thor, you're also enabling that team up. We see Surges pop off with his first pick already. Bacon, Egg, and Cheese is all over this first point. I Am White and Surge is just in the back line, slaughtering the team of Clemson. And I'm really liking the swap-ups that were made from the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese.
Yeah, I mean, again, we haven't seen Angela yet, but we can definitely, I'm excited to here. We can already see the power of just how you're able to keep up that aggressive dive while also just, I mean, right there we have the damage of I Am White in the back with just the body of Surges taking all the hits up front. I mean, already we have this ultimate as well. It's going to make for a great combo with the Thor. I'm excited to see the capabilities of this hero pick.
There we see it come down on the point now. I Am White also ulted, but got frozen beforehand. We're seeing Bacon, Egg, and Cheese with a much heavier commitment than I'm sure they would like to. Still picking up some picks. The invisible boundary did have to get used. In the back, we see HK with the Venom ult in the back line, able to stay alive, keep the pressure up, and maybe even put Clemson in the lead here.
Exactly. You see this Venom ult pop. Fate of both worlds from side B to keep all of Clem Orange. Ive Agamotto comes out, only finds Corona. And Bacon and Cheese is scrapped for ults right now. They're just fighting with their bare hands. I Am White finds Barrel. That's a good trade. Brandon, though, on this Wolverine now, is going to be a huge pick to counter this. Comes down, finds the Luna. Sigma Galaxy falls as well. And these are just picks going back and forth. Iron Fist diving in. Isn't able to find the pick onto Brandon yet. They're looking low. And right now, this fight is still a stalemate. But I think with the bodies and the health advantage here, it's looking Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's way as they just wait for more of their team to get back. Point is still in Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's control as we have Bacon, Egg, and Cheese pushing Clemson back into this choke. Looking much healthier now, ultimate-wise. Definitely Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's win for this.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a back-and-forth fight. At first, we're seeing another invisible boundary come out, as well as the Fate of Both Worlds. So we have a support ult for each team now, dropping a little bit more into it. We saw Kitten dropping down the hammer. We're in the back. Heavenly Retribution smiting everyone to where they stand. And now we're seeing this Bacon, Egg, and Cheese team come alive. Seemingly a 100% to 0. And that is how you do it.
Yeah, that Angela pick is phenomenal. CCNY is definitely looking sunny side up after that one. I mean, just the sheer performance difference that we saw in comparison there. Clemson as well, I mean, they were putting up that pressure just as much as before. Every time we cut to the Venom, they were in the back line. But I think just like you said, the the health difference. I mean, you're going from a Black Panther with like 200 health, some damage, nice dive, to somebody that can just put so much more crowd control into the team, so much more health. We can feel that difference there.
Absolutely, and I mean, we were commenting on it. It's just great to see the teams take that first round on the chin, go, what did and what didn't work. They made those swaps. They came out swinging even harder in that second round and took it even more decisively. Clemson, they did make the swaps to that. The Wolverine, I think, is going to be huge for them. It's just going to have to take a little bit more playing around and maybe quelling the thirst of bacon, egg, and cheese. But we're going to have to see what happens on this third point here. Whoever takes this one will take our first match, or our first set, I should say. Maybe. I'm not sure. The first
first map. Yep.
Yeah. First map.
Definitely looking pretty stalematey so far. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Clem Orange adapt to this Angela pick. I mean, already we can see the Wolverine pick was doing some effective plays, but immediately off the bat, we see Clem just cleaned up with this dive, and they just can't handle the pressure.
It just seems like too big of health pools being shoved right in front of your face that Clemson just doesn't have the damage to respond to. And really, what more could you ask for other than the Wolverine and a Punisher? It's a lot of aggression from the side of bacon, egg, and cheese. I think Clemson is going to have to catch them, maybe slip in playing a little too forward here, and then strike when they're down.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We see... I feel like part of the issue here is the Strange pick. I mean, you have, what, 4 melee characters that CCNY is running with. Never mind, Brandon, though, picks up 2, looking good. Kitten does get the res, though. With that Thor ultimate as well, is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. It comes out, but Kitten's looking really low. Survives and is able to find a bomb with the help of I Am White, finding a second as well in the supports, and even after that, Clemson looks like they're still falling back. I wanted to comment on, I was going to say, I'm not too happy with the Strange. I mean, you can hold that shield up, but the only projectiles being shot your way is from the Emma and the Rocket, and that wouldn't really be your concern.
Not exactly.
Clemson is swapping over to this Psylocke, which is, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
I really did like the Wolverine pick. I do think it was helping them. We saw that last stand come out as well. Pick up, I think it was 2 in that fight. Definitely helps when you're on the side that is facing the triple tank comp. But instead they're swapping for this final judgment on Bomb Barrel. Able to pick up 1 and swing the fight. Bacon, Egg, and Cheese kind of just backed up from that fight, let them burn the Fate of Both Worlds in the final judgment there. And now it just looks like they're going to hit this even harder. They have the Heaven's Retribution on this Angela, ready to use it at a moment's notice.
I mean, we saw that on the first point. We saw that on the first point as well, where Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, Clem just pushed on with all their ults. Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just backed up. Already we have this ultimate coming out. I Am White as well. Same with the Rocket. 4 ultimates popped from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. 0 picks found. Boom, this ultimate is carrying the team right now. Starting to fall, though, as soon as that drops. So does Clemson. As we can see, CCNY just absolutely cleaning them up. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
That is truly tragic from the side of Clemson, because he withstood those 3 ultimates so well for so long within that invisible boundary. And if it was just a little bit more, the fight would have went their way, and they would have been in control of this point right now. Instead, we will potentially see the touch and a portal coming back, but not yet, unfortunately. Bacon, Egg, and Cheese winning this 2-0 with the comeback even.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
I'm sorry, not 2-0, 2-1 with the comeback even.
That was just an incredible matchup for this first map. I'm very excited to get into the next one already. I Am White is the MVP. We could definitely see that. It felt like the starting picks for Bacon, Egg, and Cheese was almost always I Am White on the supports or even the tanks. And I mean, I was going to say, man, this team's looking like goats, but it's more like gomotes, right? Go mostly all tanks and supports with I Am White. You know, that's kind of a semi-tank there, but Iron Fist definitely pulling the weight. We can see that in even just the final hits reflects that very well.
It certainly was. I mean, that dive comp that the side of bacon, egg, and cheese was bringing to the table just seemed so practiced, so refined. You can tell that this is no unusual comp for this team. They have much experience with it. And I mean, you saw at that last point there, Surges with that ultimate in hand, just, flying around, just waiting for the call. And then as soon as it was made, you could see that come down. We saw the Feast of the Abyss out of Strange. I Am White popped the ultimate as well, and it was just a complete dive. Incredible work from the side of CCNY. But that's not to discredit the work that Clemson put in, taking that first point off of them, giving them a run for their money on the third one. I do think that we could be going to a game 5 here. I do not think this will be a 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think one thing that's really in favor of bacon, egg, and cheese, it feels like, is the ultimate economy. Because even when Clemson just pops their ults. I mean, we saw their retake for that last point. They popped the Luna ult, followed up by the Punisher, and I mean, that's going to be a sweep, and Bacon and Cheese knows that, so they did just hold back. I don't know if they got any picks off of that, because Bacon and Cheese, they got the point, but Bacon and Cheese just kind of ran off. They said, yeah, we're not winning that. We don't have ultimates to spend. And then that allowed them at the very end, what we just saw, to just use all 5 of them that they had in the pocket. And I mean, even then, the only thing Clemson was left with was that invisible boundary from Momith, which definitely pulled its weight. We can see that in the healing stat. Just, I mean, the difference even from CCNY's most heal is almost 10k, right? Incredible amount of healing just from that. And with only that, though, as your kind of lifeline, we can see why it somewhat fell through. Clem is using a lot more of their resources trying to clap back from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's aggressive dives. And that's something that Clemson needs to try and adapt to a little more. I liked the Wolverine pick. It's definitely a necessity in a triple tank. I wish we could have seen it a little more. I think their idea with the Psylocke was to put more pressure on these supports. I mean, we can see the Rocket, only 2 deaths. Definitely a thorn in Clemson's side.
Absolutely was. Going into this second map, I think we're going to have to see Clemson maybe ban out someone in this comp, potentially the Venom, to take away that from Corona, looking very strong on that hero. The Iron Fist from I Am White, like you were saying, it just seemed to be a thorn in the side. Had MVP that round, was definitely doing what they could. Most final hits as well. I mean, it was just incredible gameplay from the Iron Fist. And then you have the obvious, the team up of Thor and Angela. We saw that come into play there a couple times, doing some incredible work, as well as just the dive potential of a comp like that. You have the Venom, you have the Thor, the Iron Fist, and now the new addition of Angela. And it just becomes so potent that you really, really need maybe even a triple support comp from the side of Clemson to out heal that kind of face damage that they're able to bring to the fights.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that might be possibly right now we're looking for the options for Clem is how do they counter this? Obviously, it might swap up a little for CCNY. We're going to Yigsguard now on the payload, so we might see a little bit different on the defense, but I mean, we'll have to see. For Clem, I think options, like I think you mentioned, was maybe running a little more support. I mean, when your team is just taking so much damage, trying to have a little more control. Again, I wasn't a big fan of the Doctor Strange. I think the Eye of Agamotto can be pretty game-changing. However, I think just when they're running 4 melee heroes, that shield is not going to be doing too much.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to get as much value out of it. And that's where you could have seen the swap to someone like Emma if it wasn't banned. So that kind of gives us some foresight going into it as well that Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just knows what they're ready to run. They know what comp that they're best at, and they're ready to make Clemson ban around them.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at CCNY, I believe they have a first ban. I'm expecting, yeah, the same Emma. Usually that's what we get from the winning teams is they don't really need to adapt. They found their strategy, maybe just saving what they know works, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get even like an Angela ban here. Though, I mean, banning the Venom, yeah, there it is. I mean, Corona, one above all player here, definitely a strong dive in the background. That's unsurprising, and I mean, it's already good to see Clem picking and banning in accordance to the last match, immediately saving that Star-Lord as well.
Yeah, we saw that get banned out, I believe, by the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese last round. And we do see Bomb Barrel Bow hovering that Star-Lord as well. So maybe that was more of a target ban even. Or I do know that Star-Lord is pretty good right now in the scene, has some pretty strong potential to do some good damage to flyers, your backline. Pretty strong ultimate. And we're going to see what Clemson Orange has with that Star-Lord. Just a minute, but we do see the Magneto save from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese.
Yeah,
I believe
that's
that was
definitely
the same as last time. Or maybe that was Clemson's save.
I think it was Clemson's save. CCNY, I
Mm.
mean, they ran the Magneto for a moment with that the dive comp, but they didn't end up keeping it here. They were running the same lineup we're seeing here with the inclusion of a Luna. And, I mean, that Wolverine ban is to be expected. Getting rid of the Hela as well. I mean, right now it's looking like Clem is just trying to stick to their guns. I mean, they're keeping what they want, but they're more so just sticking to the comp that they're comfortable with and is going to force CCNY more so back into the position of having to adapt to them. And that's what we're looking for here.
Yeah, and we do see the Luna save from the side of Clemson. Definitely a good support. I believe that the Invisible Woman was just getting a value, but instead here they value that Luna and they will go for that save. And we're going to see what the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese is going to choose here with that Punisher save. I do like that. I don't think we saw that from them, but could definitely do work.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the double shield from Clem last time. You're gonna want that that Punisher in the pocket in the case that dive isn't working out, because I mean, dive is usually pretty good if you can get aggressive and get through that shield, it's gonna work, but doesn't always. So we're gonna have to see. I believe, yeah, we have Bacon Egg and Cheese on the attack, so they are gonna be the ones that are gonna be pushing in first. However, big notice immediately is the fact that Bucky is now open. It's definitely going to leave the door open for a lot more stronger plays.
It certainly is, and right now we're seeing from the hovers of both sides, the Bucky pick across the board. Still seeing the double shield from the side of Clemson. And for the most part, it's looking like CCNY is going to go with this triple tank again. The triple tank, 1 damage and 2 supports will do the trick. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. CCNY is going to try it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested in this Captain America as well. I mean, they don't have the Venom to play with, but they're still. I mean, Venom in general, kind of similar to Captain America in the sense of you're not really getting kills back there. If you can, that's fantastic. Captain America is more so the straight definition of you're not getting kills back there. You're going in to be just an utter distraction, right?
The fly on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. We will see Krona actually switch to this Groot, which I think is actually going to work out pretty well for them. If they're able to get this good pull from Surges into, as well as I Am White as well, and then be able to wall off like the Magneto or the Strange, they're definitely going to be looking pretty good. Already we can see this Thor getting aggressive, but I think he's fairly walled off by his own Groot, unable to get those heals.
Yeah, we do see a pick from both sides now. Corona picked up, it was the Strange, and now we're seeing I Am White pick up the Bucky on Brandon. Leaving the doors semi-open for CCNY now to start walking forward. Corona picks up 2 more picks. I Am White with another one as well, and CCNY should be able to get most of this first point now. We might have to see a last-second contest from the side of Clemson.
Yeah, Surge is getting real up and personal here. Maybe, I mean, I think that's probably the definition of overextending there. But we're going to have to see Sigma falling immediately, though, to the hands of Kitten, and now the fight's looking pretty even. I mean, off of a free pick like that on the side of Clemson, it sucks to have to lose that fight that quick with the tank. Trying to get on point contest where you can, but these supports are looking low. As we see Corona just cleaning up. Looks like Strange Portal trying to come out from Sigma, but portal's already capped, and it looks like we're just going to allow CCNY to make a bunch of space with this portal, pushing up already to the end of this third point. Getting a very delayed pick onto Sigma is going to be very unfortunate for Clemson, and they're looking a little troubled right now.
Yeah, Sigma's having a game right now. I've had it on Strange 2. You just play, and it seems like the enemy is just 1 second ahead of you. That portal was so close to having some great value. Just a little shy, and now we're seeing Kitten. This Thor domination.
Oh.
Surely everywhere they need him to be, just dropping ults like they're candy now. They know they'll get them back. I am White, cracking impact in a small room with this the Star-Lord. Poor guy does get that last reset. But CCNY
like a damn...
is basically going to get this second point for free.
Yeah, like a damn breakfast buffet. I'm White's just going again and again. Just farming these surges. Pop this ult in the back already. Just see Side Beef popping this ult as well to help with the contest. That's a beautiful ult from them. As we get a few more ults as well, Meteor M comes down and finds Sicky Samsic. That's a huge pick. This fight's now in advantage of Clem. Huge ultimate from Sigma as well. Wezu pops this Fate of Both Worlds as well, though. Now it's going to be, might be the contest they need. Invisible Boundary runs out now, and it's looking tough for Clem. The picks are going both ways. Star-Lord comes out and finds 2. Moments finds 1 as well. CCNY only has 2 members on the point. 4 from Clemson, and it looks like Clemson finally found their ground.
Yeah, that was an all-out ultimate battle there. We saw it, right there. Sigma, with that Eye of Agamotto, was able to stop CCNY in the early point of that fight. I don't believe it landed any kills, but just the CC, the stopping power of that, was good enough to give Clemson the upper hand. Dropped with all the other ultimates. And that's how you retain a point. Oh, a nice pull. Kitten falls. We saw the Thor from the side of CCNY have a lot of pressure, but falling early right now is not what you want.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we've been looking for from the side of Clemson. Beautiful pull from Brandon into that kill. We're looking for the same from CCNY, just opening up the opportunity for a pick, just building these ultimates. Clemson already back up to the second Eye of Agamotto. Sigma's definitely been doing work on this Strange, despite the melee that they have to deal with. Beautiful pick from Wezu, though, onto Brandon. Eye of Agamotto comes out. Gonna hit both supports, finding Wezu. Samsic able to stay alive, though, as I Am White finds 2 beautiful picks into the Kraken Impact.
Going again and again, able to shut him down. Sigma with that, the Eye of Agamotto did hit both supports. It was so close to securing both of them, and that would have secured the point for Clemson. But unfortunately for them, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese will be able to hit their ultimates, come back swinging, and take that second point.
I mean, we saw CCNY's shell beginning to crack there, but I mean, already we see them. They just needed to group up, get those ultimates ready to go. Beautiful ult pop from Surges into Kitten as well. And that's forcing Side Beef's ultimate out. You know what? That's a fairly nice trade, especially when you have not much from your team. You want to be able to try and get the rest of those ultimates out when you can. Right now, Clemson just rocking with this Invisible Boundary. Sicky Samsic will pop it as well. That's going to cut off Sigma as well. Beautiful pick. Now we see Clem beginning to fall.
And now we're seeing the Kraken Impact started. It did go down. Clemson popping these ults in retaliation. The Invisible Boundary, the Galactic Legend doing what they can to stop CCNY in their tracks. Finding the picks now, they should be able to do just that.
Yeah, exactly. We see Clemson just kind of getting back their grounding. Beautiful ult from Bomb Barrel, I think, to really help with that. Kitten's going to fall. And I think, again, we're just going to see a show of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just kind of falling back, regrouping, building these ultimates they know they need to use, and able to just get in there. We can see a nice flank starting from Surges already. I don't think they know they're there. They have that Punisher turret up as well. That's definitely going to open the door to a pick like that on the Kitten. Unfortunate fall as Surges pushes in as well. But with all the eyes on them, they're going to fall real quick. I'm really liking this Punisher pick now into this comp.
Yeah, I don't think Kitten was ready for that kind of ordinance that Brandon was bringing. Set up in the back there with that Punisher turret. You're able to dish out a lot of damage. Right now, they don't have it quite... Oh, they do have it quite up on the high ground, too. Seen an ultimate, the fate of both worlds from Wes get popped. The Meteor M almost strikes him down. Not able to secure the kill. Moment, though, picking up Corona in the middle of that. That's an insane pick for the side of Clemson here in being able to stop this push. The final judgment, as well as the fate of both worlds and the Eye of Agamotto from Clemson now. Maybe just a little bit of an overcommitment on a fight that you were already up in, but they're really driving that nail in. 50 seconds now for CCNY to take this point and push it in.
Yeah, you know, it was looking real good for Clemson, but I was a little worried with how much they committed, because now we've seen Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's strong point is when they just kind of let the enemy team waste their ultimates, not necessarily a waste if they are getting stopped, but use those ultimates up and allows them to just come back and clap back. Getting rid of this turret early is going to definitely be good too. We saw Clemson just praying down on it though. Angela pops this ult, invisible boundary comes out. That's going to open the door for I Am Waiting Corona to ult. As soon as this drops, they don't have that Luna ult available, and I think as soon as that happens, the door is going to open for CCNY, but Bomb Barrel with the beautiful ultimate there, finding two, shutting down I Am White. 10 seconds left. CCNY is looking a little scrapped for answers here.
Yeah, Clemson hung on to that invisible boundary when they used the other ones, and it was in just enough time that they were able to put that up, counter the Angela's ultimate as well as the Thor, and net CCNY no kills with the commitment of the ults that they purposefully saved to get kills at the very end there. That was incredible play from Momith and the side of Clemson there. That ultimate was absolutely game-changing, game-saving for the side of Clemson, as if CCNY was able to get that, they were 100% pushing that one in, and it would have went to Clemson having to go all the way to be in overtime.
Exactly, and not even just Momith, Bomb Barrel Bow there with that Galactic Legend at the end, finding 3 was just absolutely massive. I mean, CCNY had used up their support ultimates and was ready to clap back with that Kraken Impact and the Groot ultimate. However, that just was a complete shutdown. We can see that here. I mean, 9 final blows. Looks like most damage by about... Oh, no. 30 damage off of I Am White, but still, a lot of damage coming out, 19 picks. It really was a very strong contender for the game-changing play there. But now we're looking at Clemson on the attack, making swaps as well, running this... I was going to say Spider-Man, but no, we're keeping this Magneto Strange double shield with the Punisher, which I'm liking to see. I Am White now, switching a little more off this dive comp back to a more defensive, grounded type play with this Moon Knight, which I'm liking to see.
Yeah, and you know, I was crediting CCNY for it earlier, but it really looks like Clemson knows exactly what they wanted to play. They have this team comp locked down to a T. They know exactly their role in this team comp. And it's definitely starting to show. They're really starting to counter what CCNY is bringing to the table here as we're getting this first point going now. Up this hill. No kills just yet. We're seeing a lot of poking go down. Corona's already at an 80% charge to that strangling prison. He is getting ready to use that as soon as he gets it, I'm sure. But with 2 big picks from the side of Clemson, he might not be able to get a chance.
Yeah, I think this Groot is definitely going to struggle into this Punisher. We can see that just a little bit as, I mean, those walls are coming down, falling immediately. Not really giving CCNY, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese the opening they're looking for. I mean, they had a beautiful wall onto the Magneto, and instead it just led to Clemson's team being the one that got pushed. Oh my gosh, a beautiful push from Moment back through the portal, followed up by a body block to prevent the contest. That's insane.
That incredible play there from the side of Clemson, recognizing that threat of the portal, getting the push, putting the util, the big bodies in front of it, and even burning Brandon. Oh, well, that was the other. Well, either way, Brandon did fall there. Incredible play from Clemson, taking that first point, and I'd say just about the same time that it took CCNY. And now we're seeing the second point much faster. Clemson is on the front foot, ready to take the fight to CCNY. That Strangling Prison did come out, get Respond with the Fate of Both Worlds. The Meteor M looking to strike her down, but it will not hit its mark, and they will be kept alive.
Yeah, that's the power of the shields from the double shields. Both of them come down, followed by the Eye of Agamotto and Meteor M. You see the Cloak and Dagger roll, which is going to keep CCNY alive, and you can see Clem just ticking from that as they start to fall as well. However, this Invisible Boundary and Galactic Legend comes out. We've seen this combo before. Finds Wezu, looking for Sicky Samsic, but it's going to run out before they find it. Surge just falls now, and now we're looking for the man advantage from Clemson as the tanks are looking low, down a support, as we see Bomb Barrel, as well as the rest of Clemson just pushing up, taking this, pushing all the way back into this spawn with the supports. That's just a beautiful attack from Clemson.
I'll say it, this is cinema. We saw Bomb Barrel Bow roll out of the Eye of Agamotto from I Am White, now going back to that Buffy, figuring, that strain just isn't working. Clemson is dancing all around it. We do see Stigma now with the Eye of Agamotto, has it ready at this choke, getting popped, re-stunned, a huge explosion, and now that's Clemson going to be able to take this second point even faster than CCNY was able to.
Yeah, I mean, CCNY is just getting scrambled here, looking for these answers. They need to make these swaps, but they just haven't yet. I mean, 4 minutes now. Very efficient push. They haven't been stopped yet on this push. Momith finding such an early pick on the Sicky Samsic. I think they were just a little out of position early. I don't think that was like necessarily feeding, just a little out of position. But I mean, already CCNY either needs to change the way they're playing or change their heroes. Brandon popping this final judgment, looking for these picks, forcing BEC back around this corner. Momith now sitting on this invisible boundary. He's going to come out as well in response to Surges. Cloak and Dagger ult as well. Eternal Bond. Stalemate right now, but I think as soon as this falls, we have a lot of ults ready to be popped.
Side B did have that Luna ult going. The Meteor M will not find its mark. We see Bomb Barrel Bow in the skies yet again. The Eye of Agamotto came just a second too late, as he did fall, but that will be the point, getting capped for Clemson. CCC 9 from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese there. Nice try.
Yeah, I mean, again, they were looking really good off the last map. That dive seemed to be working well on the attack too, but it feels like Clemson just flipped a switch and changed how they were playing, changed their team comp, and it really feels like that Star-Lord ban that we saw from CCNY, they're showing why they should have banned it again. I mean, that's saved. Clemson went for it immediately, and we can see that from Barrel Bow now. Most elims, most final kills, just absolutely incredible performance. It feels like every time we had a big shift, it was off the back of one of those ultimates as well. But not to highlight that too much, there was a lot of support from both sides from each role, and really, this just feels like your perfect Marvel Rivals match.
I completely agree. That had its moments going back and forth for both teams. That was amazing to watch. Peak cinema. And we saw Sigma Galaxy on the Strange for Clemson, walking away with that MVP. And not to discredit them at all, but my MVP is for sure Momith on this Invisible Woman. We saw some incredible plays. The clutch ultimates, some of the even opening picks in the fight was going from this Invisible Woman from the side of Clemson. So much so that I would think if I'm CCNY, I'm taking that away. I'm taking it out of Clemson's hands. I do not want to see the Momith Invisible yet again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And from Bacon and Cheese, I mean, they weren't running it too much, and we can see the Luna and the Cloak at the ult. I do like the effectiveness of the Cloak and Dagger towards the end there. It definitely felt much, much better. But, I mean, like you said with Momith, I really want to highlight first point on Clemson's attack. Using that, just the Invisible Woman push through the portal to prevent that contest. I mean, even just another minute on that point, or just 30 seconds from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese for the contest would have been pretty game-changing. I mean, a lot can stem from that. However, nothing can stem from that when Momith isn't letting it happen.
Absolutely not. And I mean, we called this early on. These teams are very evenly matched. I think this could go to a game 5. We're seeing that right now. Why? Even when one team looks like they have the upper lead, the upper foot, the other team just comes back swinging with something that you didn't even expect, and they tear down the walls and leave you with nothing, waiting to go into the next match, trying to ban it out.
Yes, exactly. And now it's going to be on Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's map choice. Able to pick right now um, any map that we haven't been to, as well as not another payload map. I believe last week we saw this same lineup into Clintar, but I mean, we could see another domination map even. It's all up to CCNY. Maybe they want to go for that. They liked their dive that was on that domination. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But definitely now, like I said at the beginning, just based off the bans, it felt like we could see the swap from Clem during the bans of they weren't necessarily trying to adapt to the dive. They were more so securing their own position to force CCNY to adapt to them. And that is exactly what we ended up seeing throughout the course of that game. We see the slight shutdown with that Venom ban and the save with the Star Lord, just to say, you know what? No, we are keeping this comp, like you said during the game. They know what they want to run, and they are going to run that. They're not switching off the double shield. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bacon and Cheese is able to recognize that, maybe ban that Star Lord, ban that Magneto. Even they were the ones that saved it. And like you said, even the possibility of that Invisible Woman.
Absolutely. And I believe now the map pick goes in Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's favor. Potentially, we might see another domination. The Angela and Thor team up with that, be it Captain America, the Venom. Either way, it could definitely work. And that is a good thing to note, too, this time, is that CCMY was not very
Thank you.
hard on that first round.
I think you're cutting out a little bit here, but yeah,
Oh,
CCNY definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'll quickly check this.
I think you're good. I think it was just an internet thing, but I was going to say CCNY definitely had that strong offensive push, and definitely played into it. But I think just towards the end, Clem making the adaptations, and I think it came down to that ultimate economy that I had mentioned in the previous map. That's CCNY was using it to their advantage, but Clemson just kind of felt on the back foot. However, here felt very different, where Bacon, Egg, and Cheese felt like the ones they were using theirs, just maybe at the wrong time, committing a little more than they should have at certain points.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Had to quickly fix that. The only robots we want here is Ultron. Try to keep the mic on me next time. There we go. All right, getting into this third map soon here. We will have to see what the pick is from CCMY. I believe we got the ready from both teams as we are about to go in. Looking to the ban phase, I think this third one is going to be the most important one. We've now seen both teams take a win, and with what team comp that they were able to do it with. And now I think it's going to come time to ban out those shining picks in that team comp for either team and maybe have another duel and see what works, what doesn't really.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the bans in that last map, and that's something I like to see. Typically, what we'll see is maybe a team doesn't really adapt too much, and then they kind of get rolled, and we're like, yeah, what do you expect? But right here, not from these teams. They know what they need to do. They're going in the next map saying, what can we change to make this better? Even if we're winning, what can we do to win even harder? And I think we can see that here. I'm excited to see what CCNY is bringing. See Momith on the Hawkeye, which could be interesting considering they were on that Invisible Woman, but we'll have to see.
We will, and CCMY is going to start the ban train again. I believe they have picked that Emma every time. This time saying no thank you to the Star-Lord. Taking that out right away. Thinking that Clemson would probably save that first round if it was still open.
Yeah, but that does leave Clemson the ability to save that, as we do see Sigma hovering it, and now this is definitely going to shift the way both teams are playing. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we could maybe see more high damage people. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Punisher save right here, or even like, I mean, we see Momith on that Hawkeye, and that just makes me think, I mean, hey, we saw Clemson running this double shield. It wouldn't be surprising if we saw that as well. Magneto, again, very strong pick, both with and against Emma Frost. So that's not too surprising to see. I'm more so interested now, what else are they going to get off of their team? Will it be the Invisible Woman you mentioned? Will it be what they've been sticking with, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, instead, going for that Punisher, taking that out of the equation for Clemson, not wanting to give them that DPS that they've been bringing to the table. I believe it was Bomb Barrel Bow who was bringing out that Punisher, doing some good damage with it. Clemson with the rocket ban, I believe that was a past one that they picked up from that first map. I think we saw Wes with the rocket on that one. Look, maybe just a little too strong, and Clemson does not want to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that dive comp they had, going through that much effort to get a pick just to get the res, that's really what that rocket's there for. I mean, with how common Punisher is, as well as other heroes, people have learned you can just shoot the beacon. You know, it's few seconds of diversion from your team, some nice healing, but more so definitely how elusive rocket is. I think 2 deaths from Wezu on that first map, like you said, but yeah, that's unsurprising. The Bucky ban as well. I mean, playing into this, you're going to want those pulls. Make it easier for your Emma to gain control of a tank. Switching over to CCNY, though, we're seeing no save. Not sure if that's intentional or not. Maybe just kind of not really giving Clemson an idea of what they're planning on running. Not too sure, but see this Hella ban and this Jeff ban.
Yeah, maybe Clemson thought that they might try go with the Storm with the Hella ban, and instead of letting the Jeff NATO be a possibility, they instead shut it down in the ban stage, which I think is good. But they do leave Clemson with some signature picks that it looks like these players are very comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing CCNY moving over to this triple support, and not only that, the Ultron and the Mantis, which are not common picks that we see too much. I think typically, at least back in a few months ago, we'd see a lot of Ultron bans just because of how oppressive he was on launch. But I'm interested to see it. I think that damage from the Mantis as well is going to be very aggressive with I Am White, putting a lot of pressure down, getting those pulls. Surge is able to follow up on it. As well as, I mean, Wezu really just acts as a kind of secondary damage in the back. On the side of Clem, though, we are looking at this Wolverine open. I mean, no saves or bans for him, but definitely gonna be a thorn in the side of Corona on this Groot.
It absolutely is, and you know they're banning out that Venom, which we saw Corona play on that first round pretty much perfectly. It was just impeccable gameplay. Now swapping it for the Captain America and the Groot, and just knowing that Wolverine plays well into that Groot, definitely is a good pick going into it. Surges is the first one to pick up a kill, though, followed by Corona. CCNY with 2 picks are looking to just get on this point right away.
I mean, yeah, that's just an immediate team wipe in the favor of CCNY. I think that opened off the backs of just this map and the chokes that you have against that the Groot. They did not have a lot of wall break. However, we will see the Strange Portal for the contest. Members falling low, but are going to find I Am White.
Yeah, the portal is on the point, but CCNY still able to pick up some kills. Ultron in the sky now, ulting down right on the portal's opening, picking up Brandon. Side beef will fall as well. And now with a second team wipe, CCNY will be able to cap this first point.
Yeah, exactly. One other thing I want to point out too, just because of how fairly recent it is we see Bacon, Egg, and Cheese running this triple support double tank, and this the team up with Mantis gives Groot a healing ability as well with the wall. While I'm talking though, we do see this Kraken impact finding, I was gonna say 4, but a beautiful freeze from side beef, but that's not gonna stop him going again, number 4. Excited to see this. I mean, that's my favorite. Number 5, it's gonna fall short though, I think.
Yeah, not going to be able to get that chain. Keep it going, unfortunately. I Am White definitely showing the hero proficiency on that Bucky. Certainly is a strong character in the right hands. Surges with the Psionic Seduction going for Clemson as soon as they get back to the point here. We now see support ults from both sides. Both teams on this point now duking it out. The triple support, though, from the side of CCNY will leave it so that they won't be able to get a fight off without a support ultimate protecting CCNY. Hitting to the rescue this time, and that's all they need as the kills start coming through.
Yeah, Corona found the pick onto the beginning of that Kraken impact on Bow and Barrel, and that's going to be a team wipe for Bacon and Cheese taking this point. I mean, they're looking pretty good right now. Samsic emoting on point as we have I Am White fighting for their life in the front line. That's what we love to see. But I mean, yeah, right now we need to see some swaps from Clemson, and that's exactly what we're getting this Moon Knight. I'm actually a big fan of with how close this team is playing and how much healing this team has. You're gonna need that Moon Knight to keep up the damage, but you also have to keep in mind that more damage, more kind of light damage coming out, we're going to be seeing a lot more healing from CCNY, maybe just boosting those support ultimates. It's really going to depend just how many picks we are able to see. One on the Surges, though. Kraken Impact comes down, trying to find moments, but the healing is just there.
This is another win for the Momus Supremacy, man. Not only starting that fight off with an opening pick, getting an ult dropped on them, withstanding it, and then being able to kill him later. That was incredible. Unfortunately, the team fight did not go their way, and CCNY is approaching the last point here. Very close to it. The walls are coming out from Corona, and Clemson will not be able to touch.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on that moment, supremacy, I think Wezu recognizes that and does not care. I think we saw a 4K on the Ultron at the end there. Support, by the way, you know, like very, very strong character. That's why I did mention, you know, they're support, but they really are very oppressive. They don't have any direct healing abilities other than just passively throwing a drone on somebody. They are there up in the air, just acting literally like a mosquito, you know, just flying around, causing an issue. Those ultimates from Wezu have been really strong, especially in combination with Corona. That Groot is just such a powerful pick here. I thought the Emma would be fairly oppressive, which it is, but I think the real MVP that I've seen so far is these Groot walls coming down, blocking off the team, which is what's giving, as well as the ultimates, which is just opening the opportunities for Bacon, Egg, and Cheese to just free farm.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier, the Mantis team up with the Groot as well is certainly a oh, we're getting a little show actually. I'm complimenting them, and they're dancing it up on point. They're having a fun time, making some snow castles as well. Marvel Rivals truly is a beautiful game.
Yeah, I mean definitely, and then we
all
have
right, all right.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, looking at the team comps, not much is swapped other than Clemson adapting to this triple support and trying to run the exact same thing. Only difference is the change of the Mantis over to the Invisible Woman, which I'm not going to say changes the DPS, but you're definitely going to be missing out on that damage boost. And right now, I think it's just come down to who can get a pull first. You know, which of these Buckies can get a better pull. And if BEC does, it's going to be in favor of them because of the Groot. And right there, oh, see that as Bomb Barrel Bo is the one that gets pulled, immediate pick. And that's going to open the door for Bacon and Cheese. They push in and try and fry orange like they're eggs, you know.
Trying their hardest, but that is CCNY completely shoving them right back in spawn. Now even playing up, very far up actually, maybe realizing that now and coming back to the point. Clemson looked like they were ready to make a swap maybe, but I don't think they ended up going through with anything. So they're still going to hit this with the exact same team. Only now CCNY does have 4, soon to be 5 ults, soon to be 6 ults on board. The Psionic Seduction comes out early from Sigma. Brandon gets pops his ult as well with Moment. And CCNY return with some of their own. HK striking down Kitten with that Meteor M though.
Yes, exactly. More comes out. Kraken Impact as well as the Seduction. I'm White will find one, finding Bomb. We'll have to, looking for the chain. It's going to be real hard though with side B. Beautiful ultimate's going to come down, just stall it as long as possible, waiting for that ultimate to run out. It would be amazing if we could see this chain continue, but it will run out. No ultimates left. That's 12 ultimates popped during this fight. Bacon and Cheese on a member has fallen. Still up in this fight, clapping back. Bomber 01 finds Wezu. Took long enough to get that Ultron out of the sky as HK5 falls on point. And now that's just a beautiful defense from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, keeping this stagger onto Bomb. And now we see Clemson just trying to find more of these answers, looking for this Psylocke pick. We saw this last time as well. Say, okay, we have this triple support. We need to put more pressure on them. And I don't believe that the tank triple support is what you need. I mean, triple support, usually the answer isn't triple support. You need to account for that damage. You need to get those picks. And that's what we like to see, actually, seeing Bomb switch to this Moon Knight. Definitely the damage difference we were looking for.
Yeah, you are just going to have to worry about securing them with that triple support. They could rack up that damage quickly if the kills don't come through. We did just keep them. Oh, a huge Kraken Impact. I Am White all over the place, slamming down again. Gets that reset over the top, right back to it, back on Sigma. Throwing them around. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the reset off of that one.
Oh,
they do. Going back up into Moment's ult, hitting side beat, able to secure that as well. And we are just going crazy now.
I was getting worried because we did see Corona, a beautiful pull from Brandon to kill Corona. However, when in doubt, call it I Am White, dude. Hard-boiled egg, just frying, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of puns here, but I don't know what to say. This guy is just chaining these ultimates right when they need 10 seconds left. It's up to CCNY. Ultimates get thrown either side. Both of these ults come down, looking like Surges is in trouble, but gets healed back. Kraken Impact, 4 ultimates popped from the side of Clem. Best of both worlds. We get a reset from Brandon. That's 2. Looking for the 3rd now. We'll make it. Find the 4th, I believe. And that's actually going to be Bacon and She's falling in overtime. Keeping this map going. Though not over yet. We still have this portal. However, Brandon still has this ultimate. Isn't able to find a hit. Kitten with a beautiful Luna ultimate. It's going to allow them to stay alive for this comeback. Moon Knight ultimate comes down, but CCNY finding all 6 members. That's going to be mapped 3 in favor of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese.
Yeah, what an incredible fight there. We saw I Am White. As soon as they die, they swap to that Strange, start that portal back, and as soon as it's up, we saw the entire team of CCNY pour through that portal with the Luna Fate of Both Worlds on the point. It's going to be real difficult to kill anything in that. And I mean, there we have it. CCNY fighting back hard, defending beautifully on that first point there, holding Clemson and taking the 3rd map for themselves.
Yeah, you know, you see this a lot in games where just that last-minute overtime push is just exactly what your team needs to get the coordination and the resources to make that push happen. And we see Clem able to do that. However, this is Marvel Rivals, and you can portal directly out of spawn with 0 consequence. And that's what we see from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, of just swap into that Strange and getting that free contest with the entire team, allowing them to come back like it was nothing. And I mean, I don't know if that's more of a state of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese or just Doctor Strange as a character, but overall, I Am White, definitely the MVP on that Bucky.
Yeah, sometimes it definitely sucks when you see that portal come back, the entire enemy team right at their spawn doors, comes right back to the point and end up sweeping it. But it is a thing in the game. Both teams are aware of it. They have the opportunity to ban Strange if they don't like it that much. Clearly, no one's going for it here. So that is just what happens sometimes. Beautiful play there from CCNY. We are going to go on to map 4 here now. This is game point for CCNY. If they're able to take this map 4, they will beat Clemson. It's going to have to take some grit from Clemson here. Dig their heels in a bit, stop them on this 4th map, go to map 5, and really just bring it home then.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even then, depends on the modes they pick for map 5. It could go to a map 6 overtime. But yeah, right now we saw Bacon, Egg, and Cheese looking strong on that first point. Clem was able to clap back and hurt them on the second. Maybe we see that reflection here going into map 4. But for now, we're going to take a very quick few-minute break before we hop into map number 4.
Mike.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back here for map number 4. I hope you're not too exhausted from the past 3 because we still got, I'm hoping, a lot more maps ahead of us here. I'm really liking these teams. They have some excellent performance, especially Bacon, Egg, and Cheese on that last one, opening up to these bands. These guys know each other. They know what they want to run. CCNY says no Star-Lord for you. Clemson says no Venom for you. We're keeping the Emma as well.
You know, I wonder if both teams could come to like an agreement before the ban start and it's like, hey, I won't ban your Star-Lord if you don't ban our Venom. And they could just, you know, we could have a game of everyone on their best heroes duking it out. But I guess that's what the system is here for. Take away the threats, save the, I guess, the people that make your team good. And try to win over your opponent with the strategy before the map even. And then obviously you have your gunplay, your gameplay makes a big difference as well.
Exactly.
But getting into the bans.
Yeah, I was going to say, we see Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just, I believe this is pretty identical to what they were running last time. Clemson, though, getting rid of that Ultra, and they said, okay, that was enough of that. You know, we felt the pressure of that, and it's just a good reminder of why you ban it. But, you know, that's what a lot of these maps sometimes feels like, is you get a character and you ban, you make the pretty obvious bans, you go in, and then a team will play a certain character and say, oh, you know what, that's probably a better choice, and then the cycle repeats. But right now, see that Magneto saved from Clemson, that's pretty unsurprising, and CCNY actually saving this rocket. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, get Wes back on the rocket. Has been banned out the 2 prior games, and now they're actually going for a Phoenix ban. I don't think we've seen any Phoenix play or bans yet, but they are going to take it out. Clemson would not like to fight against the Corona Groot anymore, so they will be taking that out of play as well.
No, definitely not. I mean, usually when it comes to these teams, we can see like one member definitely doing a lot of the weight, and typically that's just whatever DPS is getting the most kills in the kill feed. And I mean, you could say like, you know, I Am White doing a great job with the Kraken impact, but you have to realize just the rest of the team and what they bring to make that happen. You know, you don't see the support that's shooting I Am Beef nonstop. You know, you just see I Am Beef shooting. So that's an important thing to remember, is that the rest of this team, both of these teams, very evenly matched, and they're all pulling their weight. And that's why you like to see the wide variety of these bans. I mean, you're seeing the DPS, the tanks, and the supports. Usually, it's more so just leaning in one way, maybe on the support, like one support, bunch of damage, just to try and control it a little more. But these teams are both really looking for answers across the board on either team, and that's something that I'm really happy to see here.
Yeah, we do actually see both teams starting out with this Hella Namor team up, the new addition with the mid-season here, along with Daredevil, who will not be able to get played for 2 weeks. Just, you know, rule stuff. But the team up, however, is fair game. We're seeing both teams run it right now. Kitten starting this match off well with a pick onto Bomb Barrel Bow. A second one for CCNY threaded onto Brandon, and that takes care of the team up pretty well.
Yeah, very powerful team up, because I believe the way it works is it gives Namor a strong, powerful, like, beacon of water that he can just spawn in an area. That's just standard damage dealing ability, but the stronger part of it comes whenever Namor or Hela gets an assist, it spawns one of those squid polyps on the ground to shoot around. That's a Risk of Rain 2 thing. Wrong call out, but still a little squid turret. But still, I mean, right here we can see the power of that is Hela and I Am White just sit in the back line, as Kitten and Surges makes that front line pressure, and that's pretty strong to see. I believe we're seeing, I mean, yeah, this is a mirror matchup, actually.
Good point, it sure is. We have the point capped for CCNY now. They will start to take foot on this second point. Even looking for some picks here. HK is in not a great spot. Does have the rocket here to try to get him out, as well as the Luna, but the Psionic Seduction from Surges will drag him all back to him, and that will be CCNY cleaning him up, leaving Clem a little split. needing for a regroup.
Yeah, I was thinking here, it's a mirror matchup, and CCNY is in the significant advantage, obviously, and what is doing that? And I think with the way this team plays, this team comp plays, is you have the tanks go up and make that space, and the DPS are able to follow up behind and keep that pressure up. For Clem, they're not the ones that are pushing up. They have to just hold their ground and fall back if need be, and it doesn't really give their DPS the chance to get an eye on the supports. But that's why we can see right now Clem making the swap more so to the aggressive DPS, such as Bomb on this Bucky that they did save specifically for that. That's going to be a pick on I Am White off the back of Sidebeat's ultimate. Sick and Sick, though, going to pop this Luna ult to get aggressive. Meteor M and Sia come out. Oh, look at it, those DPS, look at it, those supports dunking on them. And that's going to be Corona finding some picks.
We gotta get like a LeBron edit with Kitten and these Meteor M's. That was beautiful work. Baiting the left strike, going right, and just slamming down right in front of the two supports. Beautiful ultimate usage there from the side of CCNY. But Clem does have 5 ultimates now to stop this point. I do imagine this next point should go Clemson's way, just with the utility that they have. But it's going to be, when do they want to take this fight? They obviously don't want CCNY getting too far into this third point now. But they're now underneath. The Horn of Proteus comes out from I Am White, picks up Brandon, who Sidebeat will get that res off on. But now you're being denied that util. The ultimates are coming through. Sigma Galaxy picks up one, make it a second. And now we're starting to kill chain for the side of Clemson.
Exactly. As much as Big Ding Cheese has been cracking me up here, Clemson able to make that the defensive hold in this choke, and honestly, I think that's kind of a reflect of this the map terrain, and like I said, they don't really get a great view of the back line, but right here they definitely do. There's no corners for the supports to play around too much with this point, and we can definitely see that it's just a straight narrow push that's definitely going to help out that psionic seduction. Right now though, looking at some fairly even ultimates from both sides. Hella ultimate's going to come out, looking for these supports. That's going to force them back around the corner. Just going to cancel it early. You're not seeing them. Might as well cancel it. Beautiful Emma shield to block most of these shots. Meteor M comes out as well as this Luna ultimate to keep the team up. Hack and Impact still in the pocket.
That the Fate of Both Worlds there from Sicky Samsick be able to negate a lot of the damage that CCNY was about to take there. And now off the back of Vicia from Wezu, they're able to just keep marching forward, taking this lead, getting aggressive. The Kraken Impact over the Meteor M. That was pretty sweet. A nice move from Bomb Barrel Bow. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get any reset off of that.
Oh my gosh.
This point is just as scrappy as it has been. 3 picks now for CCNY, looking to close it out.
I was second guessing myself there, but we did see Bomb Barrel actually using the Captain America team up at the end there. However, that's not going to be enough, as Corona just cleans up on point, showing just the strength of this Namor and Hella team up. I know we discussed it just a little bit before the game, and I was a little confused on how it worked. I wasn't sure, like, nah, there's no way it spawns a squid after every single kill. But right now, we can see just how absolutely crazy that effect is.
Certainly is. And I mean, CCNY just seemed a little too strong with it to not just want to run it again. And we're seeing that, a very similar lock-in for CCNY. Kitten opting for the Strange instead. But Clemson definitely looking like they're undergoing some composition changes. We do see HK on the thing. I don't know if this is going to stick through, but right now it does look like they are definitely discussing what might need to be changed.
I mean, I'm definitely a big Ben Grimm guy, but I'm kind of questioning what it's going to do here. To me, it just feels like you're one big target for the Namor cooldown shots and just hella damage overall. And yeah, we are going to see that swap to the Magneto. Definitely little more, bit more of a better pick there. On the side of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, though, not seeing too many swaps. I believe the Doctor Strange is new. I think we had a Magneto last time, and that's a portal kill out of the spawn door. Come on, guys. This is
You
Division
hate
A.
to see it. You absolutely hate to see it if you're the side of Clemson. Just walking through that front door to a strange portal, to your death. A quick respawn. Picking up the second kill as well. On to Brandon. This one, however, will get rezzed by the Rocket BRB. A huge slam there from Surges. A nice kick as well. Gonna be taking a lot of this pressure, but not before Clemson is able to CC that the Strange, pick up the kill, and use that Rocket BRB.
I really like this Psylocke pick. It's going to be kind of difficult into this Namor, but if you can get around to just the right side, you're going to be able to put up that pressure you need onto these, but Corona is not going to let that slide. Shutting down Brandon. Right now, the Sia already out from side beef really early. And we're just looking at...
It's looking like the whole team is still up, and with a Psionic Seduction from Surges, it might be forced back just a little too far. The kills came through, and Clemson now is going to be back in spawn, thinking about what they could have done differently.
Yeah, I definitely think that without without Brandon's backline pressure on Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, it's unsurprising to see just how quickly they were able to push up. I mean, without your supports being distracted, without your tanks having to turn their heads, they can just hold forward into this. That's exactly what we see. Ult advantage looking in favor of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, though. I Am White falls.
Yeah, HK does pick up that kill. Does not get rocket rezzed either. The Sia does come down from Wezu, trying to counteract that Psionic Seduction from Sigma. The Goddess of Death is in the sky. Corona looking to shoot around this Strange shield. Won't be able to hit right away. The Eye of Agamotto comes down from HK. It just doesn't seem like anything yet. We do see Bomb Barrel Bow get kitten, but the res does come through. Sigma picks Surges straight off the map, though. And that's a huge pick for Clemson.
Yes, Bacon and Cheese looking a little rough here as they're falling a lot. Kraken Impact comes down, Barrel finds 2. So we have I Am White trying to get these kills. Barrel finds the 3rd. Kraken Impact still ready to go, but no targets to hit. Wow.
You see Corona in the back there.
Bomb Barrel is better than me. I see another target, that Kraken Impact for it, I'm running straight towards it, but they say, you know what, no. Goal isn't kills, it's the objective. We gotta push this payload, so good job to Bomb Barrel for that trigger discipline. Starting up though,
Absolutely.
we're looking at this Eye of Agamotto from Kitten ready to come out. It feels like, I remember on the first map, I feel like we were holding this just for so long. Even just one support, even just hitting one support with it, even if you don't find a pick, I mean, that's a little bit of value of them off their team for a few seconds. You gotta see it come down and get something. You don't always need such a large ult. That's exactly what we're looking for. Finds Bomb Barrel. Mammoth falls as well as HK, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Great job to Kitten. I was just a little worried we'd be sitting on it, but here they are, proving me wrong.
Yeah, it just looked like we were waiting for a nice full regroup from the side of CCNY before they gave the word, bursted through the front line of Clemson, dropped the Eye of Agamotto, and started cleaning up the picks. We're seeing Clemson debating some swaps. We see Brandon back on the Namor, side beef on the Rocket. Sigma does have this ultimate ready. Same with Brandon. We might see a nice little team up here, but not before CCNY backed up just a little bit there, giving them a lot of strength in this next fight now. That Sigma's ult was waited out. They pop a Psionic Seduction of their own with the Horn of Proteus, trying to do what they could, but Clemson took a page out of their book and just backed off and let them burn those ultimates.
Yeah, seeing why this Rocket pick is crucial as well. I mean, we've seen so many crazy crazy resurrects with this beacon. Right now, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just doing their best to hold this point, and they're doing a pretty good job. HK able to use that shield to block most of that. Hella ultimate damage coming down though, getting more with outside of it than inside. Mammoth is going to be able to pop this ult, and the mix of that damage with the healing is going to be exactly what the team needs to push up. Sicky Samsic, though, able to answer with the Eternal Bond. It's going both ways now. Galaxy's going to pop this Psionic Seduction, as well as the Agamotto from Kitten, which is not going to find anything. That feels like a huge commitment from Bacon, Egg, and Cheese with no major perks yet. Picks. Bomb Barrel is going to use that Kraken Impact. Not going to find any picks yet. Sia comes out. I Am White will find Barrel with the Horde of Proteus as Clem Orange comes out on top, it looks like.
Yeah, that was exactly what they needed there. They kind of just waited a little bit, got their ultimates back with that Psionic Seduction, walked through the Sia as well. Kraken Impact from Bomb Barrel, and they just kind of bursted through the door. But CCNY is going to get back quick. Oh, they won't have the contest to save it from capping that second point. Now, Clemson just has one more final push to do, and they are matching CCNY's score. Not the time, unfortunately. They will be underneath. But either way, getting that all 3 points guarantees your overtime round, and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, down a fairly significant amount time-wise. I mean, CCNY capped with almost 3 minutes on the timer. Clem hasn't even pushed through, still with 2. But you know what? They're not worried about the time. They can worry about that later. Right now, they just have to get to the end. That's all they need to focus on. I really like I Am White's position on the top here on the Namor is definitely going to be the backline pressure they need. I'm liking this, getting those squids. Just going to play the choke, though. Agamotto comes out and finds 3! Gets knocked back by Surges! That is going to be a kill
that was
for
still
Brandon,
a
though.
huge ult.
Yeah.
Incredible to use for the side of Clemson. Mometh now popping ultimates to try to combat him. The Meteor M from Kitten this time does not go big. Instead, the ultimates from the side of CCNY come through a little bit later, able to start picking up these kills now. That's 3 for CCNY. They have completely stopped the push from Clemson Orange.
Yeah, beautiful DPS ults from the side of BEC, and I was a little worried. You know, they only have that Emma ultimate left, but then you go ahead and look at Clemson. They committed everything to that fight, you know? They used the Eye of Agamotto early on, wasn't able to get any picks with that. Really, the opening gate, usually you want to use that to try and secure some in the end, but without it, Clem is just looking in these last 30 seconds, charge up your ultimates, get them as quick as possible, and make sure Bacon, Egg, and Cheese is forced back. But I don't know, I'm really liking Bacon, Egg, and Cheese's position here. I'm hoping to see maybe a nice pull or something from Bomb Barrel. Well, just like that, onto the just like that.
You called it. You said it. Bomb Barrel is here to deliver. And that is exactly how you do it. Corona did catch that BRB, got right back up, picked HK, and then the Strange also got res for the side of Clemson. The fight is now on the point. The Namors are going crazy, but it's Corona who's finishing these kills. Getting another one. CCNY is looking very strong here with the overtime bar ticking down. That will be map 4 going CCNY's way.
Yeah, and that's going to be the match in favor of CCNY 3-1, but I'll tell you, it definitely did not feel like it. That was a phenomenal match overall from both teams. I think just in the end, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just had just the slight edge when it came to, you know, the ultimate advantage, the picks, the openings in the fights, just really looked all CCNY's way, the most of the time, but that's not to discredit Clemson at all.
Absolutely not. We saw some spectacular gameplay from the side of Clemson today. Took that second map off of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. But unfortunately, on the other maps, they did just fall short. It was incredible gameplay. My MVP of the day still goes to Mometh. Incredible gameplay. GG's to both teams.
Yeah, I think my MVP is probably going to go to Corona. I mean, we saw some amazing Hella plays there. We saw some amazing Groot support on that third map. Just beautiful plays from CCNY. On the side of Clemson, I was a big fan of Bomb as well. We saw some beautiful hooks from the Bucky, which is what you like to see. But for right now, that's all Yokes. So GG's to both teams. And any final words from you, Inferno?
Yeah, like you said, GG's both teams. Thank you everyone for showing up, showing out. We can't do this without everyone here watching the streams. Be sure to tune in to the rest of the ECAC streams throughout the rest of the week. I've been Inferno,
Yeah, I'm
joined by
Althea.
Althea.
Thank you, Beldia, and thank you to you guys for coming in. Thank you to, I believe it was University of Ohio for the raid on the third map as well. But yeah, we hope to see you guys here next week. Have a good night.